Okay, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation you Akim out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. There's a lot of strange events happening across America, you know. The main distraction is this Donald Trump being assassinated a week ago, 7 days today. And the attempted assassination on Donald Trump, that was a major distraction. And then you have them telling 3 or 4 different lies about the suspected gunman. And then it came back to, after all the lies, so you can tell when someone is lying when they change their story. So now the Iranian government put a head out on Trump. You see how these devils switch up using the media to program the people that suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. Talk about Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And not only that, but not only the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but you have Esau that's being taken by this bullshit as well. But not all the Edomites, because you have a lot of Edomites that's looking well into this situation here, and the numbers are not adding up. The numbers are not adding up. We all know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. But the media and this narrative is telling you 4 plus 4 equals 12, which is not the case. If it don't add up, it's not the truth, man. And things is not looking, correct. Now, IT outage. And Texas is suffering from, after the hurricane hit, people being without power for several days. Their food spoiled. They can't feed their children. These are the miseries that's coming. But yet, they got major distractions because Joe Biden is going to step down. And Kamala Harris is going to be on a Democratic ticket this coming November. Do you think the good old boys in the Midwest and in the South, the deep South, like Kentucky, Mississippi, Louisiana, is going to stand for that shit? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And a lot of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right along with your daddy Esau, you're walking in great pride. Why? I don't know why you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans is pride as hell, but y'all are. Just the other day, I'm coming out the house, and I see my landlord's stepdaughter. She got this proud look about her. I didn't say nothing at all to her. I just looked at her. Her man said, "What's up?" to me, because he always speaks to me. So I gave him a dap, and I got in my car and I bounced. But I looked at her, and she had this proud look about her, because she lost a little weight, because she used to be a chubby little girl. But now she's developed and blossomed, started going to the gym. Now she looks decent. So she got a proud look about her. We're going to see how long that pride stands when all hell breaks loose and her boyfriend's not around to help her. Because a lot of Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're going to perish. This is back in 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. They don't understand what's going on. They have not a clue. The 51st verse. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory, for such as be like unto thee. And that's why I don't bear around the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, because you're filled with pride, you're arrogant, you have not a clue what's going on. You're like ostriches. When shit get bad, you put your head in the sand, leave your ass up in the air. So I don't hang around. I hang around like-minded men that's in this truth, this thing of ours, that think like me. Because they're not measuring the times. Pursuant to 2nd Ezra 9 and 1, which I'm going to get. They're not measuring the times. They have not a clue what's going on. They caught up in this Donald Trump. Look on the social media how Jake is that's full of folly. The first thing that came out was that song by 50 Cent, Mini Men. They putting Trump face on 50 Cent, changing up the lyrics, doing little stupid ass skits that's full of folly. Then you got the WWE style Republican convention with Hulk Hogan involved. This is all a game, a distraction. And you people have not a clue what's going on behind closed doors. They're preparing and gearing up for martial law and civil war because they know what's about to take place. Why did you think that movie came out, Civil War? Esau, it's called something called predictive programming. And Esau, the so-called white man, like to use predictive programming because it goes over to most of the people's head. Because they are what you call meat puppets or blind to what's going on in reality. They're living in a delusional world. And it's going to come back to bite them in their ass. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made. You can go to Matthew, the 24th chapter, the 5th verse on down. Or you can start at the 4th verse. And it explains what Yahweh Shah was telling his disciples what to look for. Uproars of the people. It's going to get into it. It says, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time that when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, there will be seen earthquakes. 3.1 on the Richter scale in Chicago. Here it is. The other day was a tornado in Chicago, which is unusual. So the Lord is bringing plagues upon the world, man. Because he's visiting the world. And it's only going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's only going to be more plagues and more prophecies coming to pass. It's not going to get better. It says, then it says, let me read verse 3 again. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, shall be seen at, and over to the people in the world, which is happening all the time. Protests here, protests there. Other day in Milwaukee, 7 days ago, I ran across an article saying that Milwaukee was on a lockdown. Milwaukee was on a lockdown. Why? Because there's a rise in that sea. I'm not gonna get into it. There's a rise in that sea. So the governor locked it down. The miseries are here. All hell is breaking loose, and civil war is looming. And when civil war comes, they're gonna bring in martial law. It says, let me read 4 again. Then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of Esau's kingdom, the end of Esau's rulership. The empire of Esau is circling the drain. Second Ezra 6, 7 through 9. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is that which followeth. Esau being the so-called white man, and Jacob, the so-called black man, who are the true biblical Israelites. This is fascinating to see. It's beautiful to be witnessing this right here, man. The prophecies coming to pass. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning in wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, and we see it. Was it in April? Was an eclipse. more signs of the time of Esau's, of the end of Esau's empire. Earthquakes, floods, upwards of the people. You see all kind of hell is breaking loose. But they keep it on a wrap, keeping you distracted. So when the hit fully hits, the only thing you can do is throw your head in the sand and your ass is up in the earth to the elements to hit. Because you're going to be stuck. You're going to be done. Have not a clue what's going on in Texas. They wasn't expecting that. They didn't prep down and prepare, hunker down. You had a lot of Jake women complaining, screaming, venting, yelling off their head like that's going to change anything. So that's what the problem with the nigga women. They like to get loud and boisterous and yell like that's going to change the fact that you in that situation. You can vent, scream, and yell and talk shit, but guess what? You in the situation because the Lord put you in that situation. Isaiah 32:9, rise up, you women that are at ease. That good life, all the teachers receiving, that's going to stop, man. Now what you going to do? Let's see if you still don't need a man. It says, even so the times, this is back in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 6. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning and wonders and powerful works and ending in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works. How you escape by your works? By going out there in the highways and the byways in truth and sincerity, speaking 100% truth. Because this is not our program. This is not our doctrine. This is the Lord's doctrine. Speaking 100% truth, putting up videos week in and week out, speaking 100% truth, observing high holy days, keeping the Sabbath. That's how you. If you're a part of the elect, you're going to do these things. If you're part of the hopeful elect, you're going to do these things. It says, shall be preserved from the set perils. Let's get it again. Let's read that again from 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the set perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which have not abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. That's why you see a lot of people in Texas going through it. A lot of people in Jamaica, they're going through it. Whatever them tornadoes struck, people are going through it. They're dwelling in torments. Can't feed their children. Suffering from excruciating heat. Here it is. It's over 100 degrees in Texas. And there's no heat. Well, slack it. There's no AC. Your food is spoiling. You waiting on lines, hours in a baking heat for some relief from the government, just to get turned away because they've been exhausted from all of their relief packages. That shit is hell. That's torment. But that's what's happening. And it's prophesied right in this book. In the last days, people are going to suffer, man. It says, then shall, back in verse 9, then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have wrought and that cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Because you see the prophets out there in Texas. You got the Dallas camp. You got camps throughout Texas, man. Great millstone camps. But yet, a lot of you people buck up, you wave your hand, you talk your shit. Now you in dire straits and you looking for answers. There ain't no answers. You seeking answers from the government. And not Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. That's why you suffering. Because had you been seeking answers from Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, you would know what was going on. And what time you living in. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits, mainly a lot of these women, and you got Jakes out there with good jobs, and have not known me, and they that have lost my laws while they had yet liberty, them camps out there, them videos on social media, because videos is on TikTok, videos on Instagram, Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube. There's videos of Israelite camps, whether it's IUIC, ISUPK, Great Millstone. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. It says, yet when they had liberty, and when the yet place of repentance was open unto them, they understood not and despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. Because you're going to die. A lot of you are going to die. The same must know it after death by pain. You're going to know you was an Israelite, you was going off, you was being wicked after death. But you're going to have to go through that pain to obtain that knowledge, to be in your right state of mind once you're in the spirit world. Yeah, it's going to get serious out here. It says, and therefore be not thou, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. Then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it. Or let me read it again. I have said therefore, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish, and then of them which shall be saved. Because the 2/3 is a large number, and a lot of you are going to die. You're going to die in them wars. You're going to die in a civil war, race riots. You're going to die from famine. You're going to die from teeth of wild beasts. You're going to die from the sword. You're going to die. And there's no escaping it. You're going to die. This is Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord. Say a sword is sharpened. Who's sharpening that sword? Was not Esau given the blessing of the sword? So of course he's sharpening that sword. Who's in the power seat right now? Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharper to make a sore slaughter. That's why you see these paramilitary groups, giving up. And that leads me to this. I had a dream Wednesday of military troops. I was with my sister. And actually I was with 2 of my sisters, which is unusual because I don't hang out with my sisters. But in my dream, my sisters was there. And we was coming out of a store. And out of a supermarket actually. And I saw a truck full of troops, a military truck full of troops in the back. And they start jumping out. And they start securing the area where we were at. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? And my sister was like, what's that? So I was like, I don't know, but get ready to run. And we don't run right away. We walk fast and go into the other direction, turn the corner. We don't see no military personnel. We run like hell. So as I'm saying that, another military truck pulls up with the same thing. And they were trying to get into this building. And I'm like, oh, so I looked and I saw that. And I was like, what this is about? And I just kept it moving. And my sister, she was like scared, but trying to have a rational thinking. Oh, we should just ask them. I said, I'm not asking them anything. If you coming with me or I'm leaving. So she was bucking up. So what I did was I started taking off. Then I turned around, I heard her saying, wait. And she was running behind me. Because I wasn't going to play that game. I'm not following behind the woman. Because she's my older sister. She thought I was going to listen to her. Nah, sweetie. Them days are long gone. I wasn't going to make mention of this, but this morning I had another dream, something similar. But this time they was door to door, snatching people out of their houses. And when you get outside, you see buses. Where do you think they was taking them? I saw buses and blue helmets. And I woke up. I was like, what the f? But when you think about it, them blue helmets are the UN. They're the only ones that have blue helmets. So that sword is being sharpened. I just wanted to bring that out. You know, you have a lot of dreams, but dreams puffs up fools, so you don't want to mention every dream you have. But it's dealing with the military and dealing with end time prophecy. You speak on it. If you can remember most of the dream, but I couldn't, so I just spoke on what I remembered, and that was that. But back in Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 10, it is sharper to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished, that it may glitter. When you sharpen the sword and the sun hit it, it's going to glitter. It says, should we then make mirth? Like I said earlier in this lesson, you had Jake making mockery, putting Donald Trump's head on 50 Cent, Mini Man song. Also, if anybody's familiar with Scarface, not the original Scarface, which was in 1932, Salakia, but the remake with Al Pacino. And it was a scene where Al Pacino walked in and the dude that set him up was on the phone with his football, with his Little League baseball captain, whoever he was, and he came in. It was a scene where he told him at 3 o'clock call, they had Donald Trump's head on Scarface, and Joe Biden head on I forgot his name. His name is skipping my head. The guy that tried to set him up, making mockery. It's all about games with Jake, man. Making mirth, doing skits on TikTok about how this dude did this and we fucked up. Jake is all about games, man. But you also got to understand, Jake respects violence too. And that's what's coming. That's what Esau's going to bring, violence. It says, it is sharper to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It containeth the rod of my son as every tree. And he have been, and he have given it, who's he? Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? And he have given it to be handled, to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, that it may be furbished, to be given to give it to the hands of the slayer. Who's the slayer? Esau Edom. Wasn't he given the blessing of the sword? He's going to use that sword. He's going to use it mightily too. And that's going to be the hand of the Lord on the left-hand side, using Esau to bring judgment on you wicked-ass Jakes out there. But I mean Jake, to all the tribes, from Judah on down to Issachar. Because y'all ain't right, man. Verse 12, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, who's the Lord's people, Israel. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel, terrors by the reason of the sword. It says, terrors by the reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon the thigh. That's what's going to happen, man. The Lord is going to bring that swift judgment upon you people, man. It's going to be swift. He set up 4 kinds of deaths, pursuant to Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. We're going to get that too as well. It says, Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. Then said the Lord unto me, through Moses and Samuel stood before me. We all know that Moses represents the law and Samuel represents the prophets. Yet my mind cannot be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight. And that happened in the time of 70 AD. The Lord cast out the land of Jerusalem and scattered us. And let them go forth. That's the scattering. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such for the famine, and such as for the famine to the famine, and such as for the captivity to the captivity. And that's what in my dream I saw when they was going door to door, taking people out of their houses. It's like you in the midst, but you in the midst of, it's like it's in the dream, it's like you in the midst of the dream and you seeing everything that's taking place, but you're not being affected by it. And you seeing people coming out their house and you seeing buses lined up. And they were using MTA buses, them yellow buses, them stagecoach buses. And they was throwing people in them buses. They didn't care if your family was with you or not. They were separating families. They were just throwing you here. The men going here, the women going here, the children going there. It was crazy, man. Verse 12. It's verse, it's like I said, verse 12. Slacking. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, where shall we go forth? Then should thou tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as for death to death, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such as for famine to the famine, and such as for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds of death, saith the Lord Yahweh. The sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And that's what's going to take place. There's going to be many dead bodies in the land of America. In these inner cities, all kind of bodies are going to be laid out, man. Things going to get real serious in due time. Don't keep thinking it's a joke out there. Things going to get real serious out here. Real serious. And real quick. Real quick. This is back in the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra, in the Apocrypha. This is let me see. This is 2nd Ezra 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's that civil war, race wars, uproars of the people. And there shall be sedition among men. Sedition means an uprising against the monarch or a government. They're gonna be out here doing what they want, especially if the grid go down. If it's an EMP attack. Once the sun go down, that's it, man. Once it get dark, it's gonna be hell out here. And once again, what you women gonna do who claim you don't need a man? It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invaded one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. Why is that? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, because it's going to be martial law. It's going to be a civil war. The cities are going to be locked down, the bridges and the tunnels. It's going to be sealed off by the U.S. military or the National Guards or the UN troops. It's going to be hectic out here. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming. Great tribulation, pain, death, anguish, unadulterated judgment is coming. It's coming. And you people's going to get caught up because you have not a clue. And I don't feel sorry for y'all. I don't feel sorry for y'all. Last scripture, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. And it reads, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. What's that burning wrath of a great multitude? The UN troops, the National Guards, the military, Interpol, That's that burning wrath of a great multitude. It's going to be kindled over you, Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans in these ghettos, in these inner cities. It says, and they shall take, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle in them concentration camps, but things offered unto idols. That sea hip. You already know. It says, and they that consent to them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Because you take that pursuant to Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 8th verse on down, that's your ass. That's your ass. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying them that fear the Lord. That's them Gurkha troops, them UN troops, the National Guards, the military. It says, for they shall waste to take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as the gold in the fire. Because everybody's going, it's a trial for everybody. The whole foot elect, the 2/3, everybody. And this is what's happening. And this is reality. And a lot of you people don't face reality. That's where you're going to get caught up. You're going to get caught up, and there's nobody going to be there to deliver you. Not even your white man Jesus is going to be able to deliver you in that time. Or Buddha. Or Jehovah. Or Allah. The only names that can deliver you, the true living power, Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. That's it. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, you occupy to push this word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.